Hello there, beautiful goddesses of your reality. Welcome back. This is Manifest with Jenny T, your alignment manifestation coach. I haven't got my mic on today, guys, because I didn't charge it. So yeah, it's just absent. But hopefully, there's not going to be too much of noise in the background. I know there's lots of chirping, a little bit of wind, but I think I can get away with it, and I hope so, because this is a really going to be a decent video, I think, this evening. And of course, when I'm away, I'm in Tunisia, which I've told you. This is the second video, but it's always about the inspiration that I find within the moments within my existence. I could think of other topics that are non-related to what I'm doing, but I always find or feel that it's better to be inspired with the moments and actually do a video, while it's fresh, while you're going through it, while you're feeling the moments. I feel like it's more authentic, and I'm always going for authenticity. So please like, subscribe, and click the little bell icon so when I upload videos, they come straight to you. Formalities out the way. So let's get to the meat of the video. So today's video is what I've kind of coined as a title of trauma transmission. Transmutation. No, it's not even trauma transmission or transmutation. It was trauma translation. I have to stop it because I totally forgot what the actual title was. Trauma translation. See, doing like some little play on words, and then in Jen's world, I always end up like messing it up when it comes to it, like trauma translation. And what I mean by that is I did actually mess up a little bit and say transmutation, but I do mean a play on words of trauma translation and transmutation. So let me just tell you what that means so I don't lose you. So, okay. As a manifestation life coach and someone who is very attuned and aware of her emotions, I understand now that emotions are accumulative, or we develop a sense of self through our identity of our life experience. And what I mean is, as we go on this journey, these emotions, these circumstances, of course, accumulate. So we start off, right? Do I need to say this? I will. We start off as children. We sort of unmoved by the emotions and the circumstances of the adults in our environment. As we progress on our journey, of course, we have these experiences that shape us and mold us and teach us, and we then take on those experiences, we take on those circumstances as a perception of the world, and we piece things together, we slot things together, and from our own vision, that is the way that we perceive that the only vision of the world is in its reality, in its existence. Does that make sense? So, due to your own experiences, we perceive that everyone has a similar thought process to ourselves. But this is just based on our own experience. Now, we get to a certain age, and I think this is really, I've touched on this in the past, but I think this is where the midlife crisis comes in. So we get to a point where we've accumulated certain experiences. Maybe we've, had children. We've going through divorce like myself, which I might know bones about. We have, you know, deaths, maybe of parents, and, you know, change of career. We could go on, so on and so forth. But what I mean is we get to a certain age, and then we've accumulated these circumstances, these thoughts, feelings, emotions and experiences, and everything lives within our subconscious. And today's video is really fresh with having these conversations with my friend today. And of course, this is the only way that I do it in my world now, guys, is I have people in my environment where we can soundboard with each other, you know, compare and contrast our experiences of life and love and career and trajectory and all the rest. And me and my friend were talking today, and we're on a similar trajectory when it comes to career, aspiring, building, growing. You know, we're both midlife, and you know, menopausal. I don't know how much that plays into it, but it definitely is a factor when it comes to, you know, our hormones and chemicals. But we're definitely on the belief of we are now injecting a lot of energy into our career, and that is who, you know, we aspire to be going forward with our career, and to become financially stable and live a life on our terms when it comes to earning money and things like this, which we talk about all the time. But what I wanted to highlight to you beautiful ladies today is that this, I believe, when we get to midlife, this can be our bit of our downfall in a sense. And it's paradoxical because, you know, I like to give you this information with a caveat of this is very paradoxical, because that's the beautiful side of this, is that we accumulate these thoughts, feelings and experiences which propel us into a direction, which is wonderful. So for me, my thoughts, feelings and experiences, same as my friend, thoughts, feelings and experiences have propelled us into a viewpoint of wanting to build and to grow as an independent woman. But consciously, we have to understand that what else do we want within our life? Not just from the business perspective, because emotionally we've gone through a lot. And how do we deal with the emotional baggage, for want of a better word, of breakdowns or breaking down of a romantic relationship, breaking down of a marriage, breaking down of, you know, for example, when COVID was present, you know, splitting families up. How do we, relational circumstances, and when they're present, how do we deal with those circumstances? Now, what I want to really bring home to you as a manifestation coach, and definitely being interpersonal and relational coach, which is me, to bring you back to thyself, to create that beauty within your relationships, because that's what it's all about for me. We have to understand that we have a choice. We have a choice with our vision. We have a choice with the way that we frame things. And what I've talked to my friend today, and she knows that I'm making this video, and it's not about her, but it's about what's been highlighted to me to become a better facilitator and a better coach for you ladies, is that we get to this age and we know that we're not going to go through those horrible relationships with men anymore. We're not going to put ourselves out there to be hurt. We're not going to be the the one that's the empathetic woman that carries all this emotional baggage and is the one who's emotionally there as the buffer, putting everything into this relationship. We're not prepared to do that anymore. But what does that mean? And why are we, and what does it say about the wounds that we're carrying around inside? And what does it mean about what we're manifesting, right? What we're bringing into our life? Now, if we want something, but we have these subconscious wounds around that we want, and it's something that's going on in the background, right, guys? We've talked about this enough now, ladies, to know that we're not going to be able to bring that in, because we can want, but it's not about what we want. It's about who we are. And the difference with what it's highlighted to me with, in comparison with my beautiful friend that I'm on holiday with, is that the affirmation, not just the affirmations, but the energy of the version of me that I am, this version of Jen, that is, she is building the business. She's doing this, independence thing, right? The growth thing with career. But I am very much the version and the I am of that I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of love. I'm deserving of love. The experience that I've had of sexual abuse from when I was a child, the experiences that I've had of my marriage breaking down, the experiences that I've had of loss, of being rejected in love, I've had a choice. And it comes down to a choice of what is the fundamental backlog, subconscious programming. What is the conversation going on in the background? And the background noise or conversation, subconscious programming within me is that I am loved. And I am worthy of a companion that's going to walk with me in this life and treat me beautiful. Whereas in contrast, when I've talked to my friend who's gone through similar experiences that haven't been very nice, the difference is the fear. She's fearful, and she's talked to me about being fearful. And obviously, of course, I've got her permission to say that. She is fearful of love. She doesn't want to be hurt again, so she shuts down. So she will have the conversations with a partner. She will have the dates. She will enjoy the romance of things, but she will not be fully vulnerable with a male counterpart. And that's because of fear of never wanting to ever be put in that situation again where she's hurt. And this is what we need to understand, ladies. This is what we do, right? So what I've questioned within myself as a coach is, okay, Jen, but it's very apparent to me that I am meant to, my soul's mission is meant to have a counterpart. My soul's mission is meant to be the one that has a business, that has love and is chosen, because that is who I am. That's my soul's blueprint. And what is just become very clear to me, and it was always there, but it was just not, it wasn't so much clarity of what I've got now, is that not everyone is meant to have that in their life. That's not their soul's blueprint. And that's not because of their wounds. That's because that is not their soul's mission. That's not their journey. But this is the difference, guys. And girls, ladies, beautiful goddesses, I need you to understand, are you choosing to not have a partner, not consciously, but because of fear? Or are you choosing to not have a partner because I've healed, I'm worthy, I am whole and complete, and that is not my aligned soul's mission? Now, if it's the latter, then that's it, right? There's nothing else to say there, girls. You've recognised your journey. Go make your millions. Go, go make those dresses. Go do whatever. Go be the cleaner. I mean, it's not about the position. But the point is that whatever we do, make sure that it's not done out of fear. Make sure that that you're choosing a life that's aligned with you, but it's based on you've dealt with the fear. And that's all it is. That's what it comes down to. It's fear. That fundamentally, with everything, with energy, it's fear. Are we choosing a life based on, I can't because I won't let myself be hurt again? Or are we choosing a life where saying, I'm worthy, I can do that and I'll feel free, but I love me, I'm in love with me, and I can still choose you for a moment and say, thank you, that's beautiful, I'm taking it, but I'm not meant to walk that path. Which one is it, girls? Because that's the deciding factor. For me, I realise that I've gone on this massive journey of self, and I choose love because I choose a romantic love because it's my personal aligned mission. That it's who I am, not because of fear of being alone, not because of fear of not being alone, because it's just who I am. And so that's the difference. And I never really could put it into words before, but I hope I've conveyed it this evening. And it's dropping the sun when we started the video to now. It's really going dusk. But I hope that you understand what I'm saying, and I think we could leave it there. If there's any questions, please reach out to me. Sending lots of love. But sit with that, girls. Really sit with that and ask yourself, am I choosing a life based on fear? Or am I choosing a life based on self-love and love and connection? And if you're honest with yourself, that clarity and those answers will come up. So I can leave you there, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Can't wait.